Good morning, it's Avery, back again for my third hiatus of this channel. It is what it is. I'm here now, and that's all that matters. And I want to be making this video, and that's the feeling that I want when I make a video, not damn it, I need to record a video. If that makes sense. So I want to be doing this, and regardless of the fact that it's been 5 months since my last, doesn't matter. So I've been counting down how many months I've been on T by like my every 4 shots, 4 weeks in a month, but that's not always true. It's not ever really true except for February, where a month is 28 days. So technically, if I were going off of that, this past Friday would have been my 8 months and 1 week on T. But actually, I'm about 7.5 months on T, give or take a few days. So with that, I wanted to go through some of the changes that have occurred in the last 5-ish months when I last posted. So starting from bottom to top, my feet haven't changed that much. I don't know if they've gotten wider. I never paid attention to how wide they were before I started. There's a tiny bit more hair on the top of my feet, but not much. As for bottom growth, I think most of it happened in the first 4 months. That's when I felt the most amount of change and discomfort. Nowadays, not feeling much discomfort. I've gotten used to it. It's pretty much leveled out. I'm sure maybe it's still getting slightly bigger. But pubic hair, I've always been capable of growing a lot. I keep it tidy. But I don't think the T has done all that much when it comes to that. Moving up to my stomach, as for hair, this region of my body, I've got hair going all the way from, right about here, all the way down. It keeps getting thicker, it keeps getting more. There's not that much. I think, like I might have said in another video, there's not much hair in my family in general, so I'm not expecting much, and I'm very happy with what I've got. Not having to do with T, but I'm about a year and a month post-op top surgery. It's wild. And it's doing great. Everyone heals differently. I think my scars are a little thicker and a little more red than most people at this stage. But that's okay. I don't mind. This past winter break, I had the privilege of being able to get my scars lasered back in Jersey. I was able to do 2 treatments a month apart, and I plan on doing a few more this summer. But it hurt. A little thing just zapped me all across, but I could tell within a week of the first treatment. I could tell a week. One more time. A week after my first treatment, and especially a week after my second, I could tell a huge change. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash? Holy shit. That's insane. He was a fucking superstar. Week after a week after my first treatment, and especially a week after the second treatment, I noticed huge changes. They got a lot less red, and I mean, the biggest thing was how much smoother they got. My scars were pretty thick, you know, as scars get sometimes, but it really helped a lot, and it's great, and I'm really excited for the rest to see what this magical laser can do. Going up from there, I think next thing would be kind of muscle growth in regard to my whole body, but I feel like especially the arms, that's where it's usually most evident. Haven't worked out really at all, except for like the past week. I've gone a few times trying to jumpstart that again, but I definitely think that I've gained more muscle and that the visibility of the muscle has also increased. Maybe I can put pictures up, or maybe I'll be too lazy, who knows. Did I do it? This is me now, having gone to the gym thrice. But it feels good. I love my body. I love my masculine features and my muscles, and that was one of the things I was most looking forward to with the tea, and it has not disappointed. Moving up from there, my face. I've still got chubby cheeks. I'm working on that. I think that also has to do with just getting older, working out more, and whatnot. Might have thinned out a bit. You tell me. As for facial hair, I got peach fuzz here, I got peach fuzz here. I think it's getting a tiny bit dark. Not enough. From your angle, I don't have any facial hair, and that's where I'm at. Eyebrows haven't changed that much. They got thicker a while back, but they pretty much leveled out. And then my hair, haven't noticed much of a change other than me trying to figure out what kind of style I like. This is what we're going with right now. Who knows what'll be next. That's pretty much the physical changes. I've been passing a lot more. It's pretty wild for strangers to just call me sir when I order food. It's like, did I hear that right? Are you crazy? Am I crazy? Maybe this is all just fine, and this is what it's supposed to be like. And I think I'm just trying to realize that now. Just accept that these changes are happening. And the testosterone is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's physically turning me into the man that I feel I am. And it feels really good. That's it, really, for the physical changes. Oh, I forgot my voice. My voice. As for my voice, it keeps dropping. It's pretty wild. Your voice is a huge part of you passing. I mean, for so long I had the physical features, or at least enough physical features to be perceived physically as a boy, but my voice is what gave me away as not, and that's what caused me to be misgendered so often. But in the past couple months, I've noticed so much change in how others perceive me and how I'm not being misgendered, and if I'm perceived as a man, I'm pretty sure people see me as like a 15-year-old mid-puberty, which I am going through mid-puberty person, but at least a boy. Even if I'm a little boy, that's okay. I'm still growing. And it's one of the best parts, and I'm excited to see what else changes physically and with my voice. Otherwise, I just wanted to give you a few life updates with me shortly, as quickly as I can, and hopefully maybe I can dive into these topics more so later on. We'll see. So, it's the end of January. I just started my second semester of my junior year of college, doing well in school. doing a lot of extracurriculars, keeping myself very, very busy, maybe too busy. It's better than not being busy at all. But I went back home last month for an entire month for winter break, after being away from my main people, all my friends, all my family for 4 months, after the majority of what the testosterone did to me happened. So they hadn't seen me since I was about 2 months on T to now, when I saw them about 6.5 months on T. So it was really good being able to go home and people being like, wow, like, your body's changed, your voice has changed, you look so good, like, you hold yourself up higher, you sound so much more confident, if I can believe it, if you can believe it, you just seem more like you. That was great. That was a huge positive of going back, but at the same time, this past summer was the summer that I changed my name to Avery. So when I came to school, I had 4 months of introducing myself to new people as Avery, and then for the people who knew me as my previous name or names, that they had that time to learn my new name. But going home, I got dead named a lot more, pronouns incorrectly used a lot more, but it's all a learning process, and I'm not the only one that's growing and that needs to get used to this. Everyone else does too, and there was no disrespect. It was all out of love, and people were happy to fix themselves and learn, and it got better in the 1 month that I was back. So that part for a minute stunk, but this summer when I go back home again, I'm sure it'll be so much better. So in November, my grandmother passed away, and I flew home for a day. I flew from LA to Baltimore, actually, for a day to go to the funeral. That was a lot. And this past week, her sister, my great aunt, who I actually happen to be a lot closer with than my grandmother, passed away as well. So I've just kind of been grieving. It's been sad. I'm recognizing that I'm in a time and an age in my life that the people in those generations are getting to that age as well, where death happens. So none of it came as a surprise. I never came out to my grandmother. I hadn't seen her since I transitioned. My dad and I decided it was for the best, and I was happy with that. But my great aunt, I've seen her multiple times, and she's had a hard time understanding me. And when I learned this past winter break that she was in the hospital in Baltimore and she wasn't doing too well, and her daughter, my second cousin, encouraged me, if I wanted to see her, because if I was coming back to school for this whole semester, we didn't know whether I'd be able to see her again. So my dad and I took a trip from Jersey to Baltimore to see her, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I was able to get her alone for a few minutes and explain to her in the simplest way possible who I am, why I feel the way I feel, how I felt before, why I transitioned, why I'm so much happier now. And she went from misgendering me, talking to my dad about, I'm afraid she's making a mistake, I'm afraid she's gonna change her mind. And she called me my brother's name for like 2 hours. And then when I had the conversation with her, she told me that she loved me, and she told me straight up, she understood, that she now understood, that I helped her understand, and she wasn't confused anymore. And just to know that, just knowing that her passing, she knew me as who I truly am, and she understands that I'm really happy now, and that she loved me. It meant it meant the world. So, love you, Anciola. Miss you. I think the biggest reason why I'm not consistent in my posts on here and on Instagram are because I feel like I need to have answers to everything in my transition. I feel like if I don't have answers, if I don't have a happy ending, then, and if I'm not helping people, then I feel like if I don't have answers or I don't have a happy ending, then I can't help anyone. And I just want to help people. But recently I've started to realize that maybe I don't need to have answers, and that maybe just me sharing my experiences and my hardships and my confusion and all the things that I don't know might still be helpful, because even if I don't have the answer, at least people out there will know that they're not alone in the thoughts that they have. So that's gonna take some time for me to continue to realize, but I can't help everyone. I'm still trying to help myself. I don't know. But one of these things that I don't know the answer to is what I want to do with my life. More specifically, like whether I want to devote my life's work to like being an activist for the trans community, or whether I want to be stealth. Part of me feels like it's my responsibility to use my privilege to help people who are not as privileged as me. But another part of me also feels that it's not my responsibility if it won't make me happy. I need to put myself before others. That's been my whole thing. I don't know. I'm off and on, and I really don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I'm working on it. I like helping people. It's not a burden, just sometimes it's too much for me. And I feel like if I can't be consistent with it, then it's not worth all that much. Or maybe it is. But I don't need to decide now. Maybe I don't even need to decide next year when I graduate. I just like knowing things, you know? This is gonna be a long ass video. Alright. I think that's all I've got for you today in this probably 20 plus minute video. I just don't know when to stop. Okay. Catch you later. Don't know when that'll be. Just have to wait and find out.